I've been through a lot of crap through my life, and God has pulled me out of that, and he's thrown me into ministry, and he said, hey, go freaking slap the devil in the face.
When Satan has the most power over us is when they're the weakest. He'll show up when you are down. He'll show up when you're grieving. He'll show up when you're newly married. He'll show up when your marriage is on the rocks.
He's coming for you when you're at your weakest. When you're at your most vulnerable, that's when he's gonna be like, hey, gonna kind of tap you on the shoulder a little bit.
Emotions are powerful. They overtake you. You can still control how you respond to them. By the grace of God and by the indwelling of the Holy Spirit, you conquer those things.
You're not alone. You may be facing that temptation, but God's still there. He allowed the temptation to happen, but he didn't give him more than what he could handle, or he didn't make him fall into that temptation. He was still there. He was never alone.
Welcome to the Axe and Fire podcast. Today we're going to be tackling the subject of temptation. What is temptation? Is it just a deep craving or a deep desire for something? Or does it go to a different level? What kinds of temptation are out there? We'll talk a little bit about what tempts me, what tempts you, what tempts the queen over here. Talk about Jesus and his temptation a little bit. And we want to kind of lead into a conversation about the devil and how he operates. And maybe a little bit about who he is and some things that we understand and misunderstand about him and his nature and what he's doing right now and how it affects us. And so this idea of temptation, if you just straight up Google it, it's essentially, you have this deep desire or this craving, this desire to do something. And generally when we're thinking of temptation, it's something that is destructive or something that you're not supposed to do, even something illegal. And there's lots of temptation out there. But the big question that I want to start out with, Keenan, is just off the rip, is temptation a sin?
I would say no. Temptation in itself is not a sin. It's the giving in to that temptation. That's where we got an issue. That's where the red flag pops up.
Yeah, I think tempted in and of itself, I would agree with you that it's not in and of itself a sin. But I think if you scratch the surface of a little bit, your temptation, I think if you dissect your temptation and you think about it, it can be a litmus test for maybe something that's going on deeper in your soul, your heart, your mind. I think it can be
sure.
I think it can be a red flag. Or kind of like this checkpoint where go, man, I've been thinking about this too much. I gotta handle this before it becomes a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
you could even go deeper with that, and it could tell you something even. And this may be an episode for another time, but it could, if you went even deeper with that, it could tell you a little bit, maybe about some trauma. Depending on
sure.
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, temptation in and of itself. I mean, we know Christ was tempted in every way that we were tempted.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to talk about Matthew 4.
Mm-hmm.
And this is right before Jesus starts his ministry. Matthew 5 is the Sermon on the Mount, 5, 6, and 7. That's where he gives that great sermon where we get the Beatitudes, blessed are the poor in spirit, that kind of thing. Light of the world, all that stuff. And right before that, I think it's interesting that right before his ministry starts, he goes through this 40-day and 40-night fast.
Mm-hmm. I always thought it was interesting that right before he did that, though, that was when he was baptized. Mm-hmm. He gets baptized and then immediately goes through this. Mm-hmm. It was like as soon as he became a Christian, as soon as he became a baby Christian, he's Jesus, but, like in a sense, like that would be how we could relate it to ourselves is, I've finally become a baby Christian. I'm finally walking with Christ now. I'm finally part of a body. And then all of a sudden, here comes the devil and all these temptations.
Yeah.
So that's where he was at in his life. And then it kind of goes on.
Whenever someone really gives their life to Christ and they go through a lot of the things that we talked about last week, and man, their belief is deeper than just an acknowledgement that God exists. Mm-hmm. But they've repented of their sins. They're turning their life around. They confess Christ as Lord. They make him Lord of their life. They die to themselves. They're buried with Christ in baptism and resurrected to walk in the newness of life. I always tell them, first 6 months, he's going to come for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not even really a Bible verse that I'm leaning on. That's just 20 years of experience when people become
that's
Christians.
just being a minister, yeah.
It seems like that's when things really start to blow up around them. And because that's when they're most vulnerable, like as soon as they're born. It's just like an infant being born into the world.
Yeah.
They're at their most vulnerable. Well, Jesus goes from that to this 40-day and 40-night fast. That's a long time. That's a goal of mine.
To do a 40-day fast?
Yeah, I've been super into fasting. It's had so many health benefits, cognitive benefits. It's helped me drop the 150 pounds that I've lost, and, I still got a whole nother person to go. What's the longest you have fasted
Myself?
without food?
3 days.
What kind of person do you turn into after about 3 days without sustenance?
Yeah. So honestly, 3 days is not that bad up until day 3. So the first 48 hours, cake. Especially if you've got a fridge cig or an energy drink, like some caffeine, cake.
Yeah.
But that third day, I'm getting pretty upset about everything.
starting to have some regret.
Yeah.
About some life choices you made. You start looking at your wife, go, why did I marry her? She's over there eating a Snickers bar.
Yeah.
Kim always asks this question when I'm on an extended fast. And I did 9 days. That's my record.
Mm-hmm.
And I just did a little over 5.
Yeah.
And this question always comes up, and I fast every Sunday. So I eat on Saturday night, and I don't eat again until Monday, right before I lift. And there's always this question. She goes, is it going to bother you if I eat this, cook this, go get this? If I need to go, if I'll eat my car, I'm going to go eat my car. Will it bother you if I go get some Taco Bell and eat it in my car?
Yeah.
As long as you're not on our property.
Yeah. So for me, it's the total opposite. I can't, because she gets mad if I don't eat with her. So when I fast,
ruining her dopamine.
Yeah. So when I fast, she's out of town usually.
Yeah.
Like, how every year she'll go to like Nashville for the whatever music award it is. What is it?
K-Love and Doves.
The K-Love and the Doves. Yeah. So when she goes out of town, that's when I do my fast. So I only fast like twice a year because that's the only time I can.
I don't want to eat dinner by myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Kim has no problem with that. Jesus goes through this 40 days, 40 nights before his ministry. He's just baptized. He's out in the wilderness. And it says in Matthew 4 that after the 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And then right then the devil shows up.
At his lowest point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. After 40 days of essentially starvation, the devil shows up. It says he was hungry. And the first temptation of the evil one was food. Which this sets up a whole conversation that we'll get into in a little bit. Turn this rock into bread or whatever. Jesus, you can make food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You don't have to sit here and starve if you don't want to.
And he says, man shall not live by bread alone, by the word of God. And Jesus will say that the word of God sustains him. He'll say, I have food to eat that you don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, what are you talking about? And it's kind of a spiritual food, and fasting will educate you on what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one was appealing to Jesus' ego, which is a huge area of temptation for anybody.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But especially young men. Who are you? How awesome are you?
Mm-hmm.
If you're as awesome as you think you are, show me.
Mm-hmm.
And throw yourselves down, because if you're the Son of God, you can command these angels come, and they're not gonna let your foot touch the ground. So he starts appealing to his ego, and I've experienced that in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like somebody wants to bow up, and then you're like, well, I'm going to show you who I am.
Okay.
Which I'm terrible at fighting. I've never been good at it.
Just enthusiastic.
Yeah, very enthusiastic, but never good at it. And then the final temptation, where he ends up saying, basically, Satan, get out of here, is he appeals to power and wealth. And it says that he took Jesus up to this high place, and he says, look at all this stuff. All of these kingdoms, all of this stuff, all of this wealth, I'll give to you if you bow down and worship me.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus rebukes him. The devil kind of gives him a wink and says, I'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jesus starts his ministry. But it says then after that, the angels came and ministered to him, and then Jesus starts his ministry. What can we learn from that paradigm, that passage, about how temptation works, how the devil works? What do those two have to do with each other?
Mm-hmm. What I would take away from it is kind of what we hit on just a second ago was he's coming for you when you're at your weakest. When you're at your most vulnerable, that's when he's going to be like, hey, going to kind of tap you on the shoulder a little bit. But the other part that I would take away from that is you're not alone. You may be facing that temptation, but God's still there.
Yeah.
Right? God never abandoned him. He allowed the temptation to happen, but he didn't give him more than what he could handle, or he didn't make him fall into that temptation. Yeah. He was still there. He was never alone.
Yeah. Have you ever been the tempter?
Probably. Yeah.
No. Drink this.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke this. Eat this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're fasting? I don't want to eat by myself. Come eat with me. Right? Or my wife.
You just went to the gym yesterday? You don't need to go today.
If I eat this Taco Bell and this cookie dough blizzard in front of you, will that bother you? We can start tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah. Tomorrow I'm locking in. I'm going to eat my protein. I'm going to drink my water.
I'm going to go ahead and splurge tonight, get it out of my system, and tomorrow locked in.
Are our wives the same person?
Yeah. I mean, it's been me too, man. I mean, Kim's been locked in, and I'm like, hey, what do you want for supper?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I'm trying to be healthy. And I'm like, yeah. Pizza sounds good. Satan. That's what you're saying.
Satan.
And
stop causing your wives to stumble and your husbands.
Yeah. But you see how oftentimes temptation and the devil's attacks happen at the same time. Because both of those, temptation it creates a state of vulnerability. Mm-hmm. And you can't stay tempted too long before you're going to break.
Yeah.
Your willpower, your discipline's going to run out. And so you have to fix underlying issues. And that's kind of what you were speaking into when it can let you know that, hey, maybe there's something going on. It could be unresolved trauma, some habit, hang up addiction that you're not addressing, whatever it is, your mental health. And if you don't address those underlying issues, and temptation just keeps rolling, eventually you're going to break, man. It's like being, tied up in a prison camp being tortured. Eventually you're going to crack.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and Jesus addressed it, and he said, get behind me, Satan, you know? And so right then he addressed it. He was like, this is the temptation. I need to cut it off.
Yeah. I'm not going to allow you to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's when Satan has the most power over us, is when they're the weakest. He'll show up when you are down. He'll show up when you're grieving. He'll show up when you're newly married. He'll show up when your marriage is on the rocks. And that's how temptation works. It's you're desiring something that you don't have. And you think if you have it, it's going to give you something positive. It'll make you happy. It'll make you feel good. It'll help you achieve your dreams. And we're tempted in all kinds of ways. People are tempted to lie.
Yeah.
And that temptation to lie can be 1,000 different things. It can be because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to pay the consequences, or I want to gain something that I haven't earned. I don't want any conflict.
But I say a lot of times it could be that I don't want to hurt your feelings, or I don't want to deal with this issue right now.
Yeah.
So
does this shirt make me look fat?
No.
There's a right and a
No,
wrong answer, babe.
I just wanted to build that suspense.
The shirt isn't what is making me look fat. It's the fat that's making me look
Is
fat.
that
That's one
Tommy
of those.
boy?
That's one of those deals where it's like, Wade, I know 3 fat people and you're 2 of them. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
And it's so sad, man, because I've lost all this weight, but it's just out of my legs. You
Yeah.
get that on camera?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Even
And
his shins are ripped.
My
Yeah.
shins are ripped. And out of my forearms, my hands, my legs. And I've lost a lot out of here. I went from a 5X to a 2X, but
Yeah.
it's just a really sloppy 2X. And there's going to be some skin removal surgery in my future. I get about another year of getting it locked in. Then you're going to be driving me to the hospital.
Yeah.
I love the example of Jesus and his temptation and watching him walk through that. But devil's advocate. Get it? It's on,
Yeah,
on
you're-
brand.
We've learned that you're pretty good at that.
Yeah. Like that's a great example for us to look at and be like, oh man, yeah, Jesus suffered, but it's very obvious that that's Satan in that moment tempting him. So like, what are ways that Satan shows up in our lives? Because it's not a literal force or spirit or physical thing that's next to you being like, do you want I mean, not maybe sometimes, but I don't think always. And so like, what does that look like or feel like, and how can you discern? Like, is this Satan tempting me, or is this just like my trauma and my issues? Like, what? How do you?
Yeah, and I think I think that speaks into and we've talked about it before on here. Is we attribute a lot of our own issues to the devil. The devil made me do it defense, and that's not a viable defense, especially on the last day. That Satan didn't jump in you. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't believe that Satan is omnipresent.
No.
I don't think he's like God and he's everywhere all the time.
No.
And so I think Satan can show up, but I don't think that Satan's like, you know what? This guy has lost too much weight, and I like him better sick. So I'm going to tempt him by going into the gas station.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably got bigger fish to fry as far as his personal presence.
Yeah.
We talk about the principalities and the powers and the rulers of the present darkness and all that stuff that we read about in Scripture and how that works and how much temptation is whispered into our ear, how much is God testing us like he did Job. All of these things just create this soup of a really frustrating, I don't know. Me personally, I like to be a man of responsibility and accountability. And I don't go, oh, well, I really would like to stop at the gas station and get some, let me go there real quick. White chocolate Reese's peanut butter cups. That'd be a good one. And some chocolate milk. I don't go, oh, devil's after me today. No, I'm just being a fat kid.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that is my own. I've did that to my body. I've used food to medicate. Food replaced pills for me back in 2004 when I was taking 30 Viking a day and crushing them up between 2 spoons and downing them with 3 fingers of Jack Daniels. And food was more acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And so food became my medication.
Yeah.
Because you get that little dopamine hit and it keeps you busy. It keeps your mind off of it. I'm thinking about my food and I'm not thinking about, drowning myself in a bathtub, you know? So food became an addiction for me. It became my medication because the underlying issues weren't being addressed.
Yeah.
And then I carried that addiction all the way to 435 pounds. And it owned me, but I don't attribute that to Satan. I attribute that to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did that.
Yeah, absolutely. In the book of Philippians, it says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit," and I think that's what a lot of it is. It's not necessarily the devil. I mean, sometimes, yeah, sure, but a lot of times, your temptation is just selfish ambition and vain conceit. You're seeking some sort of a comfort. You're seeking some sort of a dopamine hit. You're seeking some sort of pleasure, whether it just whatever it is, and you're seeking that selfishly for yourself. And so you know, like you said, you're just being a fat kid. You're just being a lazy kid. You're just being
Yeah.
whatever, seeking that for yourself. It's not necessarily the devil coming after you. It's your flesh coming after you. And Jesus said you're going to have to deny your flesh.
And I believe the evil one has power in a sense. I mean, this is such a weird passage to talk about. And people just kind of read through it. And a lot of people are mesmerized by it because it's a mesmerizing passage. But
You're still talking about Matthew 4.
when the devil shows up,
Oh, okay, yeah.
what's he doing there? Who let him talk?
Mm-hmm.
The questions he asks are nonsensical. Like, if you are who you say you are,
Obviously, he is.
don't you know who he is?
Mm-hmm.
And then it says he took him. The devil took him to this high place. Why is the devil having any kind of power or authority to take Jesus anywhere?
Mm-hmm.
And then Jesus rebukes him, and he's kind of gives like a wink, wink, like, I'll be back. You know, like, how is that possible? It goes back to Job. Like, we have this idea of the devil cast out of heaven, cast into hell. But for some reason, he still, you know, gets to show up kind of in
the throne room and talk to God.
Yeah,
about Job.
and there's this courtroom setting in Job 1, and Satan's there, the Satan,
Mm-hmm.
and he's walking to and fro back on the earth. Like, it was almost like he was reporting in.
Yeah.
And God asked him a question. Hey, have you considered my servant Job? What's God doing having a conversation with this guy?
Mm-hmm.
And Satan just answers him honestly. He gives his opinion. Why do you want Satan's opinion?
Yeah.
And Satan's like, yeah, well, you've built a hedge of protection around him. You've given him everything. He hasn't had to suffer. Of course he's going to be faithful. He has no reason not to be.
Mm-hmm.
And God's like, well, kill everything except him. Destroy him. And he does. Except he leaves his wife.
Because he had a bad wife, that's why.
and I think that was a strategic move.
It was. What is this? It's better for man to
live alone than on a corner of a housetop.
Yeah.
Better to live alone on the corner of a housetop than in a White House with an angry and contentious woman.
Yeah.
Better to live alone in the wilderness.
In the wilderness, rather than with a quarrelsome wife.
Than with a quarrelsome wife. Yeah. And so, I'm guessing he had a quarrelsome wife. She proved to be kind of awful. But killed his kids, killed his servants, killed all of his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Job proved himself. Then God ended up doubling everything at the end. But what is Satan? Who is he? What role does he play? What do we actually know? What don't we know? That's for another podcast. We can just have a podcast on the devil, and we can just talk about that. But it's interesting to see how much freedom that the devil has in this passage.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus went through this right before the Sermon on the Mount.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's how sin works, and whether the devil's involved or the devil's angels or some kind of nefarious power that's whispering in your ear, no matter where you land on that stuff and how much power and freedom those forces have to enact upon you, that never once in Scripture relieves you of your responsibility and accountability.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care if you say the devil made me do it or I made me do it.
Mm-hmm.
The end result is the same. By the grace of God and by the indwelling of the Holy Spirit, you conquer those things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your responsibility. That's why we pray to God for strength and things like that. And I know there's circumstances where emotions are powerful,
mm-hmm.
and they overtake you. You can still control how you respond to them. And so if you're feeling really emotional about something, you don't have to behave in a sinful way. You can be super angry and still not sin.
Mm-hmm.
You can be super mad at me and want to punch me in the face and decide not to. And so you may not always be able to control your emotions, which I think most of the time you can, but you can always not allow your emotions to control you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really hard for people to accept. And when emotions are involved, temptation goes through the roof.
Yeah.
And when I start associating my happiness with eating this food or doing this drug or drinking this alcohol, and I start attaching emotions to my temptations.
Mm-hmm.
This is how adultery happens. I'm
Yeah.
not getting what I want in my marriage, what I think I deserve, what makes me happy. But my work wife, man, she brings me breakfast every morning. She tells me I look good. She's nice to me. She's sweet. She doesn't nag at me for not taking out the trash. And all of a sudden, that temptation has an emotion attached to it. That need for validation. That you think, man, I would be much happier. There's that emotion with this person.
Yeah.
And when you attach those deep emotions to your temptation, there's not a lot of people who are disciplined and have enough willpower in the world to abstain for very long. So, Cassie, what are your top 3 temptations?
Ask Keenan first.
I don't know if I've got like 3 separate ones.
You don't have 3 temptations.
I mean, I'm sure I do, but the one, like, I feel like one of them that would be very basic that everybody has is probably just like being lazy, being a sluggard, like just sometimes the motivation's not there. But I think for me, the biggest one would be ego.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something that's pretty difficult.
I'm nodding because I'm acknowledging what you're saying, not because I'm like, yep.
Yeah. Checks out.
Nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it. Yeah.
Glad you're self-aware.
Yeah. No. But like but I think it's challenging for me, the whole ego part of it is because like as I was growing up, like through my 20s, like I was self-employed. Like so everything that I had is because I worked my tail off for it. And if I wasn't working, I wasn't making money, or it was, that was the kind of expectancy. And so I think for me, it's hard sometimes to balance like who are you really serving? So when you were talking, I pulled this verse up. It's Galatians chapter 1, verse 10. It says, "Now I'm trying to win the approval of human beings or of God, or am I trying to please people? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ." And so that kind of resonated with me earlier because the inner part of me is like, okay, I've been through a lot of crap through my life, and God has pulled me out of that, and he's thrown me into ministry, and he said, hey, go freaking slap the devil in the face doing ministry and do a good job, like do it well. And I'm like, okay, bet, And so sometimes I have to really kind of reel that back, or, take that step back and evaluate is, am I really like trying to make this awesome? Am I really trying to like go slap the devil in the face for God? Or am I trying to be like,
attaboys, accolades,
attaboys and
validation.
accolades, you know what I mean? And so I have to evaluate that a lot.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
I think you're wise beyond your years being able to identify that, especially stepping into ministry. And keeping that in check and keeping it in check early will definitely help you out in your career. Cassie, what do you got?
I know. It's like hard to articulate because it's kind of like what you were talking about earlier with your temptations getting emotions, and it kind of becomes like a vicious spiral of like, I could definitely identify certain things like food is a temptation. GLP-1 has helped me a lot with that. I think I have that kind of under control. And another one I could say is definitely just shopping. But even that is something so much bigger. I think achievement is like my biggest temptation, which comes in forms of like, comparing yourself to other people, wanting your life to look a certain way. It was like my goal my entire 20s to hit 6 figures by 30. Like that's what I would tell people. Like that's all I want to do. And I did. And I don't care about relationships, kids, nothing. Like I just want to make money. And I think that just for me comes in, maybe like the bigger thing is like, I think peace is on the other side of X. if I can get this, I will be happy. If I can achieve this, I will be happy. But interestingly enough, for me, it's never been about any kind of ego or show. It's always been just for me. Like, I need to do this
Personal
for
validation.
myself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Did you
it's,
grow up with an extraordinarily lack of self-worth?
yeah.
So that's kind of what he's talking about with some unresolved childhood issues can lead into that. Can you remember the in your childhood a time where you felt confident in yourself, happy with yourself, felt like you had good value?
When I was in high school, I was very successful in theater. Like, I won all these awards for my role in Pride and Prejudice. And that I can remember riding back from some of the competitions on the bus, like just like laid back in the seat and being like I did it. Like, I want to hold on to this moment, but I don't have a ton of those. And that wasn't until I was
So they were
17.
moments, they weren't like seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I've tried to chase that forever,
Yeah.
but even that was an achievement. That was a medal. So
Yeah. And it's the same for me. I have to be careful because some of that drives me as well, is I had a lot of goals that seemed impossible when I was a teenager. And I've achieved all of them at 45. And now I'm kind of like, now what? Who am I? Kind of a deal. But I wanted, and one of the things that I latched onto, and it may not sound unhealthy, but the way I did it is I always wanted to impress father figures. And so I'd latch on men, and I would do things that I would know that would impress them. Even at the cost of my own personality, I would change myself to try to be, I want these men to be impressed by me. And I kind of approached my relationship with God that way. Is I want God to go, proud of you. Nice. Hey, come over here. Look at this dude. Crushing it. And that need for validation was very strong in me, especially from father figures. And that could tempt me to lie. If not lie, at least hide the truth, not say what I really believe or think when I was asked a question, because I didn't want to disappoint them, because my self-worth was attached to whether or not they were proud or disappointed.
And you know what they want to hear and what will make them proud.
And I grew up in a world where I got good at it.
Yeah.
And that's why lying was such a temptation for me, because I realized I was so good at lying that I could manipulate the world around me. The Bible teaches us that we're not going to be tempted above our ability to handle it. We're not, or there's always going to be a way out. How does Kenan manage his temptation and keep it from turning into sin? Is it just raw, unadulterated discipline and willpower? Or you just flex in front of the mirror and it's like, you're stupid and you're not going to do it. You're weak, do the whole Goggins thing.
Yeah. No, no, it's not that. Cause if I was just left by myself, my ego would just grow. Probably an accountability partner, which would be my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she doesn't do it like that, but she'll be like,
they
hey,
have a way of doing it like that without doing it like that.
She'll be like, hey, maybe just, maybe bring it down a little bit. Like, yeah, you're a little arrogant,
Kim will say things like,
Yeah. 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 And so she'll do that sometimes. And that'll help sometimes. But it's, I honestly, I struggle with it because I know where, like, I struggle with ego, but when other people tell me I'm struggling, like the area that they tell me I'm struggling with ego, I'm like, no, you're wrong. I'm just confident with who I am. Like, I'm confident in the way that I dress. I'm confident in the way I look. Like, I'm just like, this is just who I am. And I just know that about myself. I'm egotistical over here in this area. And that's where I have to always be self-reflecting. I don't know if that makes sense, but
He
You
said
know?
that the other day in the car. He's like,
That
I'm
sounds
not,
like
I'm not arrogant. I'm just confident. And I was like, you know who would say that, babe? An arrogant
someone
person.
who's
Egomaniac.
arrogant, an egomaniac.
No
who
one
is-
thinks
I'm not
that they're
arrogant
arrogant.
or egotistical in the way I dress. I know I look good. I like the way I dress. That's insufferable.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's-
you heard that, right?
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, but I don't even like mean it that way though. Like, I mean it just like people, like the example you gave. Like, oh yeah, Keenan's got tattoos on his hands, and and he wears jewelry and blah blah blah. And like, yeah, that's just like what I do though. Like,
Have I hurt your feelings when I said that? Because
He's
no,
getting
it
heated.
honestly made me proud.
your
Like, I was like,
imitation of me was very hurtful.
oh, sorry.
He's got tattoos on his hands. So like a cookie monster. I mean, it's pretty accurate, if I'm honest.
No, he actually loved that. and I did too.
like I really liked it. No, I was
Yeah.
like, freaking let's go, right?
Yeah.
But
Well, anytime anyone
people
has
think-
style, the first thing they go to is ego.
yeah, and that's
Or-
like
or
not where
some kind of small man syndrome, which you're not 9 feet tall, but you're 6 feet wide, so you make up for it. And your arms are bigger around than most people's thighs, and so I don't think you have to worry about that. But a lot of people, when they see style or they see someone driving a car that's not a normal sedan,
yeah,
well, he must be making up for something,
yeah.
And when you see the war pig, I mean that thing screams ego, right?
I think it screams awesome, but
You're right. Everyone else thinks it screams ego, right?
I
And
see it and I'm like, freaking rock and roll, baby. Let's go.
whatever your temptation is, pray about it. Find an accountability partner, like Keenan says. Keenan's a great accountability partner for me. If I skip the gym, he looks at me like I'm some kind of a loser, coward, weakling.
Getting soft, old man.
Find somebody that'll make you a better person. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. If you're hanging out with people who justify your shortcomings, your habits, your hang-ups, your temptations, your sin, you're hanging around with the wrong people. Find people who are going to push you to be better, even if it hurts your feelings. But ultimately pursue God, because it's that relationship with the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit that's going to give us the strength when that evil one shows up. He starts shooting those flaming darts at you to be able to withstand him and to stay strong, to stay on the wagon. There's so many people out there, man, that's struggling with drugs, addiction to sex, their marriage is busted, there's adultery going on, their kids are in rebellion, and they're having a hard time having a relationship with them, and that brings all this temptation to do all these things. Just making sure, please make sure that you're putting on the full armor of God and you're surrounding yourself with people that's going to make you better and hold you accountable. If you need to reach out in the comments. We'll respond to you, help you out. Find an accountability partner or church to go to and get plugged in. Find a group, whether it's a recovery group of some kind. Just surround yourself with people that's going to make you better. Ultimately, pursue God. Love each and every one of you. Like, share, and subscribe. Ring that bell so you get notifications. See you in the next one.
But before you go, in line with our food addictions, if you could have dinner with anyone in the Bible, what are you eating and what are you asking them?
Are we taking Jesus off the table?
Yeah, take Jesus off the table.
Okay. Fun.
Intended.
If I could have dinner with anybody in the Bible, anybody.
I don't
And
know
are
what
you
I don't
cooking
know- I
or
don't know
taking
if-
them out?
Oh, what would we eat?
I'm going Old Testament, man.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, New Testament, of course, Apostle Paul, all those are good answers. It'd be fun to have dinner with Peter. He'd be upset that I wasn't Jew. John would be awesome. John the Baptist would be awesome.
That's your favorite guy. You guys can eat locusts and honey. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
well,
wear a loincloth.
that is carnivore friendly.
Yeah.
I don't do the honey because of the sugar, but it's still considered an animal product, and some carnivores do.
So you could do that. I don't know what we would eat. Probably cheeseburgers because I love cheeseburgers. But mine would probably be Elijah. I think
Why?
I would go with Elijah, and I'd be like, so you're my hero because you killed 400 false prophets with a sword, and I just want to know about it. Just tell me all of it. Let me live. Yeah, let me live vicariously through you for the next hour and tell me everything.
That's a good one.
Man, there's so many to choose from. That's hard. This is what my wife must feel like when she opens a menu at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Just dread. Overwhelming dread.
Yeah.
Anybody from the Old Testament or from the Bible. I think it has to be, it can't be an angel.
I mean, it can.
You can't see that. You can't. No, it can't be.
He's setting the rules.
So no divine beings.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's got to be a person.
My goodness, I think. Be honest with you, I'm narrowing it down to 3 dudes. It would be Adam. That would be an interesting conversation.
Because you'd be like, what were you thinking? Or what?
No, like, what's the first thing you experienced when you woke up?
Oh, yeah.
Like, consciousness for the first time.
Yeah.
And
like, were you aware
what was the
of
garden
what
like?
to do? Yeah.
Why did you do this, you idiot? No.
Yeah.
Adam would be an interesting conversation because he walked with God.
Yeah.
Physically.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. And I have some questions about Lilith and things like that I'd like to ask him.
Mm-hmm.
And Shira poles and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Noah would be another one.
Why Noah?
Guy builds a boat in a desert where it never rained before.
Yeah.
And asking about the flood, but also about giants.
Mm-hmm.
What were the giants like?
Mm-hmm.
Right, because we assume they got washed out in the flood. So tell me about giants.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a cool conversation. What was it like that all the animals just start spawning in, you know?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
They just start showing up.
Yeah. Was it like was the boat like Narnia? Because like you go inside of it and it's just infinite, you know, full of animals.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the boat they build, I mean, it's big, but
Every single animal. Yeah.
2 of some and 7 of others.
Yeah.
So we think it was just 2, a male and female of every one, but that's not true.
Yeah.
There's 7 of others. The clean animals, it was 7.
Yeah.
Because they had to make way for sacrifices and things like that, and 2 of every unclean.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting conversation. But I think if I was going to really just hammer down on one, it's going to be Gideon.
Why?
Interesting.
The 300, man. His army gets whittled down to 300, and they're going into battle.
Yeah.
I want to ask about like the walls of Jericho. But like, you know, the movie 300.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's not true. There's more like around 3,000. And then they had the Athenians, and they had some help. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
No.
I'm going to ruin your history.
What? No.
Yeah.
Now I'm mad.
I'm going to ruin
There
your
was more
movie.
than 300 Spartans?
Yes. And
You're lying. How do you know?
my goodness.
Who says? Who says? Because my history teacher said that's not true.
Your history teacher did not tell you that it was just 300 people, unless he was a coach.
He was. He was. Yeah.
And then, but like that was the 300.
Mm-hmm.
And Cassie, give a quick Google so I don't blow it. How many enemies did Gideon face with his 300?
This says 135,000.
Before?
How many enemies did he have? 135,000?
Gideon faced a massive allied army, approximately 135,000. I don't know. That's 450 to 1.
450 guys.
Would you like
To one.
Would you like to see that? Talk about that? Hear those war stories?
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
You got to give them magic swords. And so
Maybe.
I think Gideon would be awesome. He's, you know, we talk about like his fleece and his doubt and stuff like that. Like if the fleece is wet and the ground is dry, then I'll believe you.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of goes through this process because what God's asking him is a suicide mission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But at least in Gideon's mind, God's like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
That's light work.
Yeah.
I can send the angel of the Lord, and we can clean that up in a few hours while you're sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to sit down with Gideon, man, because kind of that general, the bravado, the warrior nature of those 300 dudes facing that army, going, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with the Lord. Let's do this thing. Let's light this candle. I'd like to sit down with that whole group.
Yeah.
Be like Valhalla.
It's true.
Just be like,
It's true. Yeah.
tell me what's up, man. Because
Yeah.
those dudes, that character, that grit, man, I'd love to sit in a mead hall with those guys and listen to the stories.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the walls of Jericho coming tumbling down. But Gideon would probably be, if I could like spawn into a dinner party, it'd probably be.
It's literally what I was reading about in the Bible today, so it's so funny that you said that. What would you eat?
Meat.
Okay.
Meat.
Oh, that checks out.
Bacon.
Bacon. That's good. That's a good answer.
He can eat bacon now.
He can now.
Welcome to this
He
world.
couldn't then.
Yeah.
Just have pork chops, bacon, ribs.
He'd be like, this is what I was missing.
They're like, oh my
oh
god.
my God.
Listen, man, you were in an era where there was no baby backs. Right? You never had a pulled pork sandwich.
That's tragic.
Sure, they didn't have barbecue sauce back then.
You know. Yeah. That would be, and they still did it, you know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
eating flatbread and goat stew.
Flat bread. Not even good flat bread.
Yeah.
Like basically like a corn crunchy tortilla.
Cardboard.
Yeah.
Gotta be close to cardboard.
I mean, yeah, like a saltine cracker.
Yeah.
We'd be outside. We would be where the battle happened.
Ooh.
We'd have a camp
Like
set
right
up.
after the battle happened. So bodies everywhere.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say heads rolling around. Yeah.
Maybe not there. The smell might not be great. But like, even if not like in that time frame, like if we just went back there and it was open country and set up like a camp, like a big campfire with a grill on top of it, and we all just sit around the campfire and talk.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That'd be sick. Good answers.
What about you?
This is such a hard question.
If you don't say Esther, I don't even know who you are.
I was honestly thinking Mary,
Like, which one?
like Jesus' mother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's crazy. Like, what was that like when you...
Impregnated?
yeah, when you found out, you know? Like, what you were going to do and who you were carrying and, like, what the crap.
Then you got to break
And
it to
she
Joseph.
was like...
You gotta tell everybody.
And she was so young. Like, I just feel like that would be fascinating.
And you know, people like weren't gonna believe it.
100%.
Come out, oh no, God did this.
Okay, Mary. Yeah.
He
for
just
sure.
spawned this baby in. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I bet she went through just so much.
Oh yeah. I mean, there was. She went through a lot of castigation. That's what I was looking for. She probably would have. They would probably been pressured to make her an outcast, slut shaming, all that stuff. She probably went through.
100%. Yeah. But then, like, also after he was born, like, seeing him do all of those things and watching him die, and I mean, like, just what an experience, you know?
Yeah.
What would you eat?
Communion.
Oh my gosh. This is your son.
Whose body was broken for me. This is the blood of the new covenant.
Probably fried chicken.
Fried chicken?
Yeah.
Just because you love fried chicken or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would either be cheeseburgers or fried chicken. Maybe sushi.
She'd probably get down on. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. What is the fish that they would have had right there? It wouldn't be like
fish.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what type of fish is right there because it's like it's a sea, but it's not like the ocean.
There were several different, but like I would want to be like, what can I show Gideon culinarily?
Oh, you'd
Like,
want to give him something he's
but-
never had.
Him being like in the afterlife, whatever that looks like. I mean, will he know what a
He'd be like, oh yeah, baby back ribs.
does he know what a chimichanga is?
Yeah.
If he doesn't, he needs to try it.
Got to show him.
I want to bring him out a sizzling plate. These are called fajitas.
This is a sopapilla.
Yeah.
So Mexican food. Wade wants to eat Mexican food.
I mean, barbecue, Mexican. I would like to Japanese steakhouse.
Hibachi.
Just go on a tour of fatness. This
You can go to Chili's and get the triple dipper.
Oh, heck yeah. The cheese pull.
this is a chocolate eclair.
This is a beignet.
So
A
chocolate
beignet.
eclairs are pretty good.
Oh, beignet. Yeah, beignet.
Pancakes.
See, that's the temptation creeping up on it. The more we talk about it,
Yeah, and I'm getting
I
hungry.
just start naming things.
Yeah.
Right?
Just literally daydreaming about
Steak,
food.
eggs, butter, salt, water,
Electrolytes.
fridge chicken. You ever had a fridge chicken, Gideon?
Ooh, yeah. You gonna have an old fashioned?
If you would have had one of these before you went into battle, it'd been even faster.